Okay, I've returned. I think I know what we need to present. It's right there in front of my face.
It's a wine glass, is it not?
Please look at the photo of the crime scene one more time. The scene is a mess because of the victim's struggle against his assailant. The vase was broken. His makeup is all over the floor. These were all things that were, at one point, sitting on top of the dresser.
Well, yes, I see your point.
However, this glass that is sitting on top of the dresser is mysteriously untouched. The only thing that had not fallen over along with everything else is this wine glass. This piece of evidence is more than strange enough to warrant further consideration. Even Edgeworth is like, kind of speechless. Well, what do you all have to say?
Oh, well, yes, it is a little peculiar.
Yes, isn't it? I thought it was.
You could stop looking at me with those puppy dog eyes of yours now. Mr. Edgeworth,
What is it, Your Honor?
your opinion?
You don't need my opinion. Because there is no special meaning to that glass. What? It's safe to say that the glass is set there after the crime took place. By the person who discovered the body, Adrian Andrews, for example. She could have easily been so shocked that she set the glass down without thinking.
That does sound very plausible, Mr. Wright.
Could Miss Andrews really have set that glass down without thinking? It's possible that is what happened. There's nothing that points to Miss Andrews not being the one who set the cup down. If I raised an objection here, that would only make the judge slam his gavel down.
You can't think like that, Phoenix.
Yeah.
Right now, you're hanging by a very thin thread. Anything else you grab onto right now is better than nothing.
So in other words, push as far as we can go. The defense would like to challenge the prosecution's theory. We would like to see something that proves it was Miss Andrews who set the cup on the table.
You've turned the situation on its head yet again, as usual. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any proof to back up your claim?
There's no way he has any. He's just bluffing. Unlike Mr. Wright, I never say anything unless I have the evidence to support it. Wait, what? You're not thinking hard enough today, right? Did you think this wine glass escaped my notice? Then, of course it has been thoroughly inspected. For fingerprints. Fingerprints? There were only one set of fingerprints left on this wine glass.
Only one? Well, whose were they?
They were not the victims nor the defendants, rather, they were of one Adrian Andrews. Hold the phone?
Nani?
Hold the actual phone? That is why I said that the person who had discovered the body had left it there. Are we done here, Mr. Wright? I can't believe I fell into yet another trap. Miss Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Mr. Corrida. But upon seeing his dead body, she was stunned and set the glass down on the dresser.
What you just said makes a lot of sense.
Now, do you see, Wright? You can't change any part of my scenario as it explains everything all too well. Ugh. I've thought long and hard this past year about what it means to be a prosecutor. And from here on out, I will show you the answer I have come to discover.
Oh, wait a second, Mr. Edgeworth. I think the prosecution has provided enough evidence for me to enter my verdict.
Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to pass judgment yet. The prosecution has yet another witness we would like the court to hear from. Another witness? Yes. Bailiff, please bring in the next witness.
What in the world is Mr. Edgeworth thinking?
Ah, crap. Oh, boy. Oh boy. I think honestly I might have to pause after we interrogate this thing. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. Witness, your name and occupation. Ugh.
G-O-T-C-H-A.
Ugh. Okay. I wonder what happened to that calm composure he had earlier.
Oh, Edgy boy, it's been 1 year since we last met, hasn't it? You should be more happy to see me.
I saw the report with the testimony, but who knew under that helmet? It was the Wicked Witch, the witness stand.
I tell you this time I know what I'm supposed to do. So today I'm going to tell you anything and everything. Even things that don't have to do with that terrible crime.
Miss Witness, that terrible crime is all this court needs to know.
Oof. Shush, I'm talking about my dear Edgy Wedgie over here. Don't interrupt us, Gramps.
Yes, madam.
No, please, by all means interrupt her, please. Anyway, witness, your testimony, please.
It's true what they say that youth are hot-headed nowadays, not that I mind at all, Edgy. Now then, what should I start with?
The witness was on security detail at the hotel on the night of the murder. Is this correct, Miss Oldbag?
It was a great job being able to see my dearie Juan. It was almost too small, too much for my little heart to handle.
You mean you were a fan of the victim?
Look, everyone is crazy over that on guard, saying he's cute in a fresh way or something. But not me. I wouldn't say anything so silly. After all, I have no interest in a little child like him. I'm only interested in a real man. One corrida.
Oh, but those two were the same age.
Anyway, as I was saying, I was pacing in front of his room that night.
Very well, please tell the court what you witnessed the night of the murder.
Leave it to me, Edgy Poo. Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room. There was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. It was Edge. It was on guard. Not on guard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room.
So Mr. On Guard came out from the victim's room.
See, it has to be him. He's the murderer.
Oh, this is literally the same mistake that she's been making the previous time she was on the witness stand.
I see. Oh, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Oh yeah, no problem, Kaiser, dude. We'll probably end in a bit anyways. I guess we're not raiding tonight then. There's no raid tonight, folks. Something you were interested in. And just what was that?
It's not something, a little thing I could just go around telling everyone, you know? It's top secret between me and Juan. And Edgy Poo, of course.
Mr. Edgeworth, what is this thing she was interested in?
I have no idea. I despise gossip, Your Honor. Gossip? But should it prove relevant, we can always have it appended to our testimony later.
Looks like we shouldn't force it right now.
And did the witness stay in the vicinity of the victim's door the entire time?
Nope. You saw my client. Are you sure about that?
Yesy.
Really?
Annoying brat. When I say I saw someone, I saw that person.
Why do I get a sense of deja vu? Maybe to avoid a repeat of last year, I should delve into this a bit further. Please tell the court about the man's clothes in more detail.
What a troublesome man you are, really. As if something like that matters.
But it does.
No, what was it? Oh, yes. It was that thing.
What thing?
That gaudy thing he's always wearing. That racing jacket.
Ah, he was wearing that at the detention center, too.
That thing's meant for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons. Men.
Right.
So, Mr. Wright, was his testimony just now important or relevant in any way?
I guess it really wasn't that important after all.
Do you know what you say time is valuable? If not, I suggest you learn.
You've wasted 3 minutes of this woman's youth. That's more valuable than gold to me.
Why do I suddenly feel old in the presence of her childish whining? That jacket is actually going to still continue to pin the blame on the client. What was the man you saw carrying?
In which hand? His right or his left? Ah, now this is a real mess. I mean, I can't be expected to answer such a vague question.
Indeed, please be more specific with your question, Mr. Wright.
Sorry. What was the man you saw carrying in his right hand?
He wasn't carrying anything in that hand.
And how about his left?
Empty.
Well, this whole thing has been a lot of nothing. Please tell me the court about the man's face in more detail.
You don't need me to tell you about his face. That soft, gentle look in his eyes and his effeminate lips. His right eye covered by his silky hair, his sparkling, shiny teeth.
His teeth were shining?
Well, he's shining all around in this week's pinup poster, dearie.
This week's pinup. Why do you. I don't care how he looks in this week's issue. Please stay with what you saw that night.
What? Ongar's face is the same no matter where it is, you know, you whippersnapper.
I have a feeling that she's contradicting herself. Because it honestly feels like she's describing the person she's swooning. Oh? Then would you tell us the number of people who went in and out of Mr. Corita's room?
I have no idea. I wasn't born so I could count things for those who didn't pay attention in class. That's why ever since I turned 20, I quit keeping track of how old I really am.
Yes, well, that would explain why your age was not included in the report.
In any case, the witness then saw someone, correct?
Robbie, I was supposed to help set up the stage for that trifling show. But I refused to help, I'll have you know. It was for the lead-headed samurai show.
Maybe it was a good thing the show didn't go on.
Besides, the manager with the glasses seemed to be working hard at it without me. So I thought I'd take a break and spread my wings a little.
And that's when you went to hang around the victim's door? Who in the world was that?
I'm not allowed to say. This sort of information has to be carefully guarded for the masses, Sonny.
She was.
Oh, she's I'm too scared. I can't say his name out loud.
Oh, what I wouldn't give to have Francisca's whip right about now.
Well, I guess I can tell you since he was such a bad boy anyway.
Hmm. Of course it was important, Your Honor.
Objection!
Then perhaps you would like to point out what part of that testimony was important. You don't really have to put it that way to get me to say,
Mr. Wright, there is something much more valuable than a person's pride, and that is time.
Objection!
don't you see it, Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request what the witness said about the jacket be appended to her testimony.
I don't quite see where you're going with this, but all right. Witness, please.
Ah, well, I don't like to badmouth anyone without reason, but if I must.
Hold it!
Are you sure the defendant was wearing a racing jacket?
What do you think? It's not like I've seen him anything other than that horrible thing. I'm sure he was wearing it.
Maybe she saw the dude in the costume? It doesn't seem like...
Objection!
No, that's not it. What if I selected if he's holding anything in his hands? Oh, wait, wrong game.
Hold it! Objection!
Okay, so it has to be the face. I mean, what he was wearing.
Hold it! Objection!
It has to be something regarding the jacket. But how could she tell it was like he was wearing his jacket that night?
Objection!
Miss Oldback,
What? You don't say my name for no reason.
do you know what this is?
It's button number 2 in the German Ninja's costume.
Now I know she's an obsessed fan. She identified it in a single glance.
Give it here. Give it here. If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this.
Wow, she really is a diehard fan to want a button covered in blood. This button was discovered on Mr. On Guard's body during a full body search.
See? See? This button proves beyond a shadow of a doubt it was that rascal on guard.
It was caught up in the pleats of his nickel samurai hakama pants.
See? See? And on guard is the Nickel Samurai.
Witness? Now, it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination. But just now, didn't you say that the defendant met On Guard was wearing his usual racing jacket?
I'm so sorry. Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear. If I wore the trendiest dress, then maybe instead I have to put up with this ridiculous looking outfit. You agree this outfit is hideous, right? I've got a tape recorder stuck on my chest. Let me tell you, you're trying to keep that dream alive for all those kids out there. Oh, I cried with a smile on my face, don't you understand? Now, take a look in the mirror. Your clothes are about as interesting as a documentary on Curly. You should take a trip or two about Jibu. Now, he's our style.
Also, why is she off the witness stand?
Now hold your tongue still for 1 second. So what you saw in actuality is not Mr. On Guard the man, but Mr. On Guard the Nickel Samurai?
When you think about it. They're really one and the same anyway.
Ms. Oldbag, this is a very important point we're talking about.
Hey, Jibu, do you think so too?
Well, it might be something worth considering. Just say it's important and agree with me for a change.
Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify.
All right, if you insist.
I should be the one sighing, not you.
On guard, on guard. Yes, now I remember. The Nickel Samurai, that's right. It was the Nickel Samurai that I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know. Now, so he must have worn that Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan.
I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside that costume.
What? Did you think there could have been someone else inside that costume? Don't be a bad little boy to say thinking such rude things.
But the possibility does exist.
Ah, young'uns today, I told you there is no way it was anyone else.
How do you know that?
Because I said so, and what I say is the truth.
At least she's just as delightful a witness as she was a year ago.
Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine this witness.
You don't need to think too hard on this one.
Huh?
There's a contradiction or testimony that's sitting in plain sight. The question is what that contradiction means for us.
Well, I have to figure out what you're talking about first, but okay.
Objection!
I was gonna say like, the dude was dead by strangulation, but it still substantiate the point that like we got ourselves a. Yo, MT, how's it going? Hold on a second. Hold up. A raid at 11:30 p.m. Eastern from the one and only Mountain Dew, MT Warrior. Well, thank you, Mikey. You were pretty late again. Thank you, MT. How was your stream? How was RuneScape? What you up to? What'd you get done in RuneScape today? Tell me, how was it? How'd you do? Yeah, welcome to my stream, guys. This is Nintendo, who doesn't always play the Nintendo. When he does, you know where to go. After all, it's where this raid scene goes. It's where all the confetti goes. It's where all the chill folk go. It's where all the retro gamers go. It's where the, wow. It's where the chill folks go for all things Nintendo, anything Steam, and a bunch of chill times with me, just for my own pleb acting. Anyways, we got the balloons, we got the confetti, we got all the hype music here. And, yeah, that's how we celebrate the Raiders around here, folks. It's a major event. It's pretty hyped up. It's pretty Gucci. It's pretty chill. Tonight is just Flashback Friday with Phoenix Wright, Justice for All. But we're probably going to wrap it up real soon. We're not done with this case yet. This is the final case of the game. We're at a point in the game where we could just bookmark it. I got 99 skills today. That's what. Oh, okay. We made some progress on that note.
Hold it!
And why would that be?
That way, no one could see his face, of course.
But there's still no advantage for him that I can see. In fact, you would think the costume would make him stand out all the more.
You're such an annoying child and all that. You disagree with everything I say.
Isn't that what you're always doing to me?
I got it. Maybe it was more troublesome for him to change in and out of his costume.
Hold it!
Hey, what's up, Rusty Shacky? Is there anyone else scheduled to appear at the post-ceremony show?
Well, all the contestants were supposed to go on stage in a friendly gesture thing.
And that included the jamming ninja?
Of course it included him. That's why when Guard came out of Dear Juan's room, I didn't give it to a second thought.
I see.
Well, anyway.
Hold it!
So let me ask you one last time. The person you saw, it really was the Nickel Samurai?
As showy as ever. Haven't I been saying that from the very beginning?
Can I throw in the towel yet? Yeah, what's good, Rusty? What is good? I'm assuming you watch MT. You're a fellow homie of MT's.
Hold it!
Be a little more careful with your testimony, please. Not too long ago, you said he was wearing his racing jacket, and now he's not?
Not too long ago. Then let me ask you this. When you were itty-bitty, what was your grand dream?
Huh?
What did you want to be when you grew up, whippersnapper?
My dream, huh? Well, I, want to be Judge Wagner, hero of the public's court, so what?
See? I know what you are now. You're not Judge Wagner, are you? Are you?
That's what you get for watching MT too much. This is what you get for MT, what have you done to this dude? You're cloning yourself. You're putting your influence, your cells, into the people. And this is what you get. Well,
What I said earlier. Who puts my any weight into things like that? The now is everything. I can't be held responsible for the past.
since when did court become theatrics over testimonies?
All that matters is that man was inside that costume. Isn't that enough?
Live above the influence. Hey, you're not wrong about that. You're not wrong about that. So he must have worn the nickel samurai costume when stabbing poor Juan.
Objection!
That was not the right testimony. We're trying to prove that it was not our client in a costume this old bag saw.
Objection!
Hmm. I mean, how long have you been watching MT, Rusty? Few years, I think. And haven't been watching any of his other homies, Herbiscus, Hotbox. I know I don't exist in everybody's book. I don't exist in everybody's book for the past couple years since I started on Twitch. But somehow he's kept you hidden. Gasp. We gotta give MT the rat-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta again. Oh, wait, hold on a second. How could he be wearing a costume when there's fingerprints on this knife?
Objection!
Haha! Please take a look at this.
Yeah, it's a knife. Big deal. If you're trying to scare me with that, I'll have you know it won't work.
No, that's not my intention at all.
That's the knife that was used in the murder, correct?
Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to the case?
You don't even have to ask. It's because the defendant fingerprints are on it.
Is that what you're driving at? That is exactly what I am driving at.
What are we driving at? And whose car are we driving?
If Mr. On Guard was really in the costume at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on his knife. Actually, he would have wiped all previous fingerprints on this knife right off. That's true. That's a fair point.
Oh, that's right. The nickel samurai wears gloves, doesn't he?
Objection!
He probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing.
Objection!
And why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? There is no way he would do something like that. However, there is one possibility. And let's hear your possibility. It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume as the Nickel Samurai. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show. Which is why he took his gloves off.
But the murder still did take place.
It's well known that there was bad blood between the defendant and the victim.
Yes, I have heard that before. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about Mr. Edgeworth's theory?
So let me get this straight. His theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Now, up to this point, are there any problems with this theory? This theory contradicts something in an earlier testimony. What are you babbling about? Now, for argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. On Guard was the killer, if that's the case. I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent. Without intent? The problem is, what the heck is the intent? The suicide note? Because we have to prove a motive right now, right? Yeah, we have to prove a motive.
Take that!
This knife, this was used by Mr. On Guard at dinner.
Yes, we did establish that.
Which means that if my client was in fact the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Corrida. I suppose. However, you just said it yourself. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. If that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he? Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed from supposition 1. And one more thing. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there should be glove marks left on the knife. Which means the defendant's fingerprints shouldn't be all over it like bees on a hive. And that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us.
Order, I say. Order in the court. Was this knife really planted by the killer?
It seems planted.
Why would the murderer do such a thing?
It's to frame my client, Mr. On Guard, of course.
To frame...
Objection!
Aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one?
Objection!
We just established that the witness saw the Nickel Samurai in costume. And if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife.
Witness...
Looks like I made your life a tiny bit more difficult, huh, Edgy Poo?
Witness, did you or did you not really see the Nickel Samurai?
Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but...
Are you saying you mixed up Mr. On Guard with the Nickel Samurai, his character on TV?
But I mean, I can't really do anything about that now. Look, I was waiting around in front of the doors because... Well, I wasn't waiting around for the Nickel Samurai, that's for sure.
She wasn't waiting for the Nickel Samurai. Alright then, who were you waiting around for then?
That's top secret to anyone outside of security.
I have a feeling that you were waiting for Mr. One Corrida. Am I correct, witness?
No way you think. You're a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness.
Amateur? Me? What am I, an amateur of?
So Old Bag was waiting around in front of the victim's room. But it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Corrida.
Maybe, Phoenix. Maybe Old Bag was waiting around for that person.
If it's who I think Mia's hinting at, it's certainly possible. Ms. Old Bag? You were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you? The client's manager?
Take that!
Who is this person?
That is Adrian Andrews, Mr. On Guard's manager.
But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room?
It seems that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor.
Oh, this is... I see.
That judge seems to be really into the article, if it can be called such a thing.
And this manager with the initials AA, are you saying it's...
Adrian Andrews. Without a doubt, the witness thought so as well.
Looks like it's found me out. Oh, that's fine. I can throw away this whole sort of confidentiality stuff then.
Witness, what in the world are you...
Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling.
I got some information. Some very secret information from a certain source. So that's why I was doing my own little investigation. In secret, of course.
What for?
Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will we proceed from here?
I really don't want to do this, however. I cannot simply let this point slide.
I see. Very well then, witness, please testify about this secret information.
Get ready. This is going to take the wind out of you young'uns.
I'm sure we're all capable of handling this. Really, it's not like we're 10 years old.
Guard is one evil, evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan Boy by causing a huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get in close with Juan. I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. Oh, and this is top secret. You'll let nobody else but you and me know, okay?
A defendant sent his manager? What a distasteful topic for this court.
What? Nobody's above gossip. And isn't there a saying? The truth is never pleasant.
Never heard that one before.
Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person?
We have looked into this matter, and found that the truth the article proposes is in fact baseless gossip.
Well, should this be true, and this proves that the defendant did bear ill will towards the victim.
So this means I have to smash this rumor once and for all.
Well then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Be careful. The old hag bag seems rather excited right now.
That's right. Red Guard is nothing but your average foul-blooded youth.
Well,
Hi, how are you?
as the old saying goes, you gotta burn old bags with fire. Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone. Hey, what's up, Dark? Jesus Christ, you came just as I'm almost done. Where have you been? You haven't been here for a whole eternity. And also, yeah, I'm really about the end. Like, it is late Eastern Standard Time right now. The life cry never ends, I feel you. She says she took action. We must press her on the so-called action.
Hold it!
So what do you mean by I took action?
Like I already told you, I was lying when way close to this crime scene. Once that slimy woman came out of Juan's room, I was going to capture her, teach her a good lesson. Something you youngins need.
You were going to teach her a good lesson?
I was going to make her eat the damaging beams of my ray gun. Like this.
No, stop.
Well, it was too bad that woman didn't come through the door that night.
Hold it!
You don't have any proof that Mr. On Guard did such a thing.
must be suffering from the shock of hearing the truth. And now, since you're so in shock, you can't do anything right.
You're right, I can't do anything, but boy, do I wish I could do something about you.
All right then, Sonny, show me what you've got. Can you show me proof that On Guard didn't bear any ill will towards Juan?
I don't have anything to offer.
Sure, just like as I thought. And you were lecturing me without saying things without proof. You just give me a free pass to say whatever I want whenever I want, silly boy.
You might, Big Mouth.
That's the way the cookie crumbles for you anyway.
I thought she would take a picture with the camera. What else do we have to press her on? She says she was lying in wait and whatnot. Hey, thank you. Thank you for following, Rusty. I appreciates it. I appreciates it. Wait.
What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over.
Secret information that no one else knows yet. If that's true, then how do you know the secret information?
Well, that's because I'm a pro. Yes, that's it. It's a secret. Even if you drill the hole into my brain, you'll never find out.
How in the world did that... If you don't be a good girl and tell me where you get this secret information, you won't get to go home today.
Veggie Poo, what are you doing? Help me.
What do I have to do with this?
Just do this for me. You'll get your reward.
I don't want your reward, but you don't leave me much of a choice. The witness could have gotten her information from anywhere. It's even possible that it was spontaneously made up inside the witness's head. And he lectures me on reckless blabbering?
As long as we don't know where this information came from, it's quite a waste of time to focus on this line of questioning.
Where did Old Bad get her inside information? There has to be something I could use to figure it out. Okay. She ran into someone who knew the information. So no one else is supposed to know this secret information, correct? If that's true, then why do you know it?
Why are you looking at me like that? Stop that.
Witness? I hate to say it, but this is how you came to acquire your secret info, isn't it? The investigative photographer Lotta Hart.
Oh yes, I remember that mischievous girl.
She reported that she had lost a certain note she had written to herself. Oh, there was a note in her camera bag.
Who reported such a thing? Oh, she reported such a thing?
On that piece of paper, she had written down some of her impressions about the relationship between the victim and Ms. Andrews.
What? Outrageous ideas, you say?
No, I said impressions.
And everything written on this piece of paper is completely meaningless?
Ah, that's it. That's the note.
No, you see, this is something completely different. It's not my top secret list of groceries to buy.
Then you are the one who took Miss Hart's note?
I'm a huge fan of Juan's, that's why. That infamous puffy-haired whippersnapper. She's working with that evil On Guard. She said so herself. On Guard. I'm a sidekick. She was so happy, smiling like a silly duck. I was only checking what she had written. Veggie Boo, you believe me, don't you? I was only trying to help out like the angel I am. It's only one little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before.
You really should come with a supply of cheese to match your vintage wine. Ooh. Oh.
I'm typing the quote right now.
Well, it was only a piece of paper. I suppose we can overlook this just this once.
She looks like she's really sorry. Should I forgive her? If I let up on her now, she'll get away. I have to go find some way to inflict a deafening blow to the prosecution. Witness, you said that the only thing you stole was that note. Is this correct?
Mrs. Snow, why did you listen more carefully, you annoying brat? I see this piece of paper from the terrible lonely trash can, that's all.
You're lying, damn it, and I can prove it.
Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again?
Ms. Oldbag? I don't believe that the note is the only thing you stole that night. You also stole the camera. Ms. Oldbag? That note was with the camera inside its case, wasn't it?
A camera?
Yesterday, Lotta Hart was raising a huge stink over her camera. She kept saying something like, "My sweetie $1,600 camera disappeared on me."
I witness.
What is it, Gramps?
If you have the note, then it's only logical that you have the camera too.
Looks like you found me out again, Sonny. Is this the camera you're looking for?
That's...
What? Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know. I still eat meals like you. I fall in love and borrow things from people. Borrow things.
I think your definition of borrow is a little off.
I saw that woman's business card, and that's when I noticed it said, Slimax Celebrity Photographer Extraordinaire. Well, when I saw that, I had to know what sort of picture she had taken.
Bailiff, check this camera's photos. Hurry, post haste. We must examine them at once. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have?
There is only one photo that seems to be relevant to this case.
Please present it to the court. This is the Nickel Samurai.
See, I told you, that's the guy I saw.
This proves that the witness was not lying earlier about this matter. What does all this mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
This photo by itself does not prove that the person in it is the defendant. However, in his own confession, Mr. Engard clearly stated that at the time of the murder, he was still in his Nickel Samurai costume.
If that is the case, then this Nickel Samurai is...
The defendant. I highly doubt that.
How did it come to this? I think this brings us to the end. We have examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. Final comments, Mr. Wright? The court will consider them before we close. Do you agree that this photo is decisive evidence against your client?
If this photo really is decisive, then we're done for. I wouldn't say it's decisive, though. There is something wrong. But if I raise an objection here and blow it, then I would put Maya's life in jeopardy. I can't make a mistake here. There's only one road out of this mess. This photo that Lotta took, there's something strange with this photo. I knew this was coming, right?
Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth?
I think we can all agree there's nothing strange with this photo. There's no way for the defense to debunk this photo, even with a bunker buster.
Debunk with a bunker buster? Is that what you're planning to do, Mr. Wright?
Anyway, please look at the photo one more time.
If you really believe you can honestly find something wrong with this photo, and you should only need one chance, correct?
Well, I have to find something wrong with this photo. I can't let this chance go by. Where in the heck did she take this photo from anyway? It's all out of focus. Why can't she take a good shot, especially when it counts?
Well, then let's hear your objection. What about this photo is strange?
The legs. I would like to direct the court's attention to this one area right here.
What are you pointing to? His ankles?
If you could see this person's ankles, That would be one thing. However, you can't.
And what does this mean?
The costume person in this photo could not have been Mr. On Guard.
What is the meaning of this?
I wonder if you would care to elaborate with actual facts, that is. Let's take a look at the Nickel Samurai's poster. Please pay particular attention to the area around the bottom of the hakama.
His socks. You can see his socks.
Exactly. However, in this photo, the Nickel Samurai is clearly holding his hakama up just to walk. There's only one explanation for this. The person inside this costume is clearly shorter than the defendant. Alright, I think I've turned things around for myself this time.
That's curious.
Huh? What is?
Edgeworth is unusually calm today.
That's true.
He's just letting the trial run itself, and he's only along for the ride.
Along for the ride? What do you mean by that?
I can only guess that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all.
He doesn't feel under attack? Then I haven't damaged his case at all?
Mr. Edgeworth, where does this leave us? If the person in this photo is not Matt on guard, then everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless.
I figured it would come to this. Right, I have something I want to ask you. I think you have proven that the person inside this costume is not Matt on guard. In that case, who is this photo of? Huh, that's a good question. Who is this a photo of? Who is the person wearing the Nickel Samurai costume?
Don't stress it over this, Phoenix. It's very simple. What you should be focused on is Edgeworth's attitude, don't you think?
Yeah, why is he so calm?
Mr. Wright, let's hear your thoughts. Who is the person in this photograph?
The person we're trying to frame the whole time.
Adrian Andrews?
She was the only other person who could go back and forth between both rooms. If you want to know who that Nickel Samurai is, it is none other than this woman. And why would you say it must be Miss Andrews? What in the world points you to her? For starters, she's short. And she could freely move in and out of Mr. On Guard's room. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. On Guard that night.
And how does that all add up?
It means that it makes very easy for her to get a certain item. A certain knife with Mr. On Guard's fingerprints all over it.
A knife that was used as a murder weapon.
Why don't you just say what it is you want, right? I have to do this now. This is my last chance to turn things around. The defense moves to indict Miss Adrian Andrews in the murder of Juan Corrida. It was Miss Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for the crime.
Order, order, order! It looks like this trial has had a most unexpected development. Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor.
This court is issuing a subpoena for Miss Adrian Andrews. A verdict cannot be passed without first hearing her testimony.
All right, this is it.
This is kinda bad for us.
Huh? What do you mean?
If Adrian Andrews is summoned to court as a witness, it means that the trial will go on for another day.
One more day. Ugh. If I don't get a verdict today, then my...
Well, then we shall set Miss Andrews' testimony for tomorrow.
What am I supposed to do? The court is about to adjourn the court. I have to do something. The trial must go on, but I don't have anything left. No evidence, no nothing.
Well, then court will adjourn for
I abhor wasting such valuable time. Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request that you please continue with today's trial.
But, we cannot continue due to this unexpected development.
Unexpected development? I think you underestimate me, Your Honor.
What do you mean by that?
That Mr. Phoenix Wright would slave his way to subpoenaing Miss Adrian Andrews is all happening according to plan, even if Wright was a bit slow to catch on.
What?
this boy.
What is the meaning of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth?
Miss Adrian Andrews is currently awaiting in the prosecution's lobby. She is the next witness. Everything was planned out in advance by that man?
Somehow I knew there was no way Edgeworth would overlook Miss Andrews. Looks like this battle is far from over.
Exactly.
Very well. We will call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we shall take a 10-minute recess. Please prepare your witness in that time, Mr. Edgeworth. The court will now take a 10-minute recess.
Thank you, to be continued. Thank you. Oh my god. Well now, I think we spent enough time investigating and going through court tonight. Well, with that being said and done, let me go ahead and roll the credits real quick before we go ahead and find someone we could probably raid tonight. So, thank you to Rusty for the follow, EJ Washington Jr. for the follow, MT with the raid, and Kiba the Barbarian with the host for tonight's session of Ace Attorney. Justice for All. We will be continuing this case, and hopefully if we don't wrap it up tomorrow or Sunday night, we will be wrapping it up on Monday for sure. Oh my god, this case is quite a doozy. Well, we're definitely getting a kick out of this with all its plots and turns and everything. Yeah, thanks for everybody else for stopping on by. And I'm not gonna roll the credits on this time. I'm just gonna go ahead and get into a raid. It is getting pretty late, and your boy's gotta rest his pipes. So let's see who I have online we can raid. Alright, so we have Terraria, we have Stardew Valley, we got Pikmin 2, we got Sun... What is Shenanigans playing? Shenanigans is playing that game. Damn, I really can't make up my mind. I really can't make up my mind. Okay, so... Not too much of my homies are available tonight. Maybe I can raid somebody, maybe I could raid a thicker streamer, a streamer who's doing much better than me. At the same time, I always like to raid like the smaller streamers. You know what? I think I'll go ahead and raid a homie. I think I'm gonna go ahead and raid. I think I'll go ahead and raid Squishy Noob. It has been a hot minute since I last raided him. Alright, so Squishy Noob is actually a fellow content creator. He is a fellow Genshin Impact player, like me, and he's currently playing some Stardew Valley, which is my go-to Sunday game for Stardew Sunday. And if anybody is gonna wants to hit me up, y'all can hit me up on Twitter. I'm available on Discord as well. And I can also be added, but I probably might not get your request right away because I still there's other requests that I have to go through, and I'm not exactly adding in everybody on my list. But yeah, thank you all for stopping on by, whether it's tonight for Ace Attorney or earlier during the day for the Pokemon presentation of the Generation 4 remix. Remix? It sounds like remix. Remakes. I can't say English properly. So anywho, so yeah, let's go ahead and raid him. We shall finally go ahead and raid him. And if I don't see y'all Kinokos on my next Ace Attorney adventure, then I shall see you all in Genshin Impact or maybe Pokemon next month, as I'm going to be revisiting my old save files of Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum for that, with all the Pokemon hype going on. And until next time, folks, this is your host, Meltendo, of Channel Meltendo, who's not always the richest Tendo, not always the most famous Tendo, but he's one of the coolest, he's one of the most OG, one of the most chillest laid back, and one of the most realest Tendos out there. Thank you all for stopping on by, and I hope you all have a pleasant rest of evening, morning, or afternoon, depending on where you all are from.